loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever, strengthening the ties that keep us together. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever, strengthening the ties that keep us together.
How can teachers foster better relationships with students is what we'll be talking about this time around on Making It Last. This is the podcast where we are all about helping you to improve your relationships. And with me this time around is my friend, Reid, a teacher, a specialist teacher at Ardenne Preparatory here in Mandeville. Hello, Wayne.
Hi, Noreen. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Now, teachers have an awesome responsibility, I believe. I believe they have the power to make or literally break people. Even from my own experience, I know that I had a love-hate relationship with math in high school. And I think a lot of that is because of something my math teacher said to me at the time. No, that a lot of years ago, but it's just to show you that sometimes we remember the most unpleasant experiences. So sometimes as teachers, we have to be very careful. Now, how as teachers can we help to foster better relationships with our students?
Well, this is quite interesting because I did management and accounting and computering, and this is an era in my life that I would never dream that I would be in. I never thought about teaching. I never liked it. The stuff that is happening within the schools these days, the discipline, the dress, the attitude. When I look back on my years in primary school and in Manchester High School and beyond, it's just absolutely different. It's a totally different atmosphere. It's a different culture.
Yes, it is.
But finding myself in the classroom now, it is also a massive learning experience, not just for me who is part-time, but also for the other teachers. Fostering a better relationship is, you have to go beyond the students. You have to know their background.
Yes.
You have to speak to their parents. You have to speak to their brothers and sisters. You have to speak to other teachers who have interacted with these kids at a lower level from as far back as Kinder 1 and Kinder 2. And the school that I'm at, they have an awesome, and I mean awesome staff. These teachers care about the children. And care and love is one thing that is really good in fostering relationship and helping in the whole business of learning. A child needs to be comfortable in their environment. They have to be comfortable in the bathrooms, the tuck shop, the play area, how they interact with the general staff, the administrative staff within the office. And I see where everybody at school knows all the kids. You know them by name. When you call a child by his or her name, it says volume to the child that there is care.
Yes.
Because, we're living in Jamaica and a lot of our kids are barrel kids. Barrel kids, some of our kids live with just helpers. And everything comes from the States. It's a Western Union baby we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So when they come to school, this is where a whole new world and a whole new culture opens up for them, where they get a hug, where they're told that, your hair looks so nice today, and everything is good. Affirmation, yes. Yeah, encouraging them and so on. Bringing them now into the classroom environment. A lot of our classrooms are overcrowded.
Before you talk about that though, you mentioned something that I really want you to elaborate on a little bit, because I don't want anybody listening to this get the wrong impression. You said they must know their background, but some people are going to say, but you're asking me to be inquisitive and to delve into people's private life. And I don't think that is what you mean. So explain that for me.
There are students that are within your class I said earlier on that you need to have a really good communication with other teachers. Some of these kids come with certain disabilities. I don't know if disability is a strong word, but we learn at different levels. We learn at different levels. Some kids have a hearing problem, some kids have a sight problem. They refuse to wear their glasses. So these are things that you have to look out for in certain kids, moving them from the back of the class to the side, to the front and stuff like that. And, you know, the whole business of recognizing certain kids and giving them some, an extra help, an extra push, and maybe sometimes extra work.
Okay.
So, and then when you know the environment from which they're coming, when you're structuring work, projects, and you're giving responsibility in the classroom, then you know certain kids that will not be able to handle certain things right now, but with help, you know.
So you just
have to know their background, know where they're coming from. Do they live with their parents? Is there a father figure involved? The psychology of dealing with the kids in the classroom is massive. It's huge. So I think teaching is it's one of the professions that should be above everything else, because we're creating a world.
It's a conversation for another.
It's another level. The world that exists within the classroom. It's awesome.
Yeah, you're about to talk about, even in terms of you have to be in a classroom. Sometimes you can't necessarily give students maybe the one-on-one because of the size of, the amount of students you have to deal with. So
it's a lot of responsibilities, other than you have to do your reports and writing lesson plans and writing individual assessments on each student. There is a myriad of things that you as a teacher need to do in preparation for your class, and preparation is tantamount. But you have to know the students within the classroom, as I said earlier on. There are some kids that will not give you any work. You still have to encourage them. You have to hold them dear and close to you. You have to work with a guidance counselor. And you have to look at various ways in which to stimulate this particular child. You can't just keep sending them to the principal office, or somewhere in your mind you're also hoping that this child won't turn up the next term. No. You, as a teacher, you have become now a parent.
Yes.
The classroom is your family. It's amazing. It's your family. Your classroom is your culture, your community. It's your little world. Then you fall in love with them and you want the good for everybody. Because right now we have leaders and CEOs that were very, very slow learners. So, I keep telling my students that, affirmation is good. You tell them that you love them. You tell them that they will all be successful. Just give them a homework. Just respect each other within the class. One of the things I like to do when I'm just approaching a class for the first time is that we have what is called group and conversation. Our teachers do other things. I have 2 charts on the board, blank. So my first question to the class is, what do you want from me? Do you want us to have a fun class? Do we laugh and play while we learn? Do we talk about our likes, our dislikes, and our problem? Let me know what you want from me, and we make a list of what is it that you want from me as a teacher. And then they will now ask me, what is it that you want from us, sir? And I give them my list,
So the expectations are clear.
I'm kind of one of the weird teachers. I'm not the traditional ones, They will say, oh, Mr. Reid is the worst teacher on staff. But if there's any little problem, the arrow points to me. Sir, can you help me with this, sir? I need this, sir. I need to talk. And so on. Boundaries is very important. The whole business of respect and work and communication and family and knowing the child.
Yes.
Boundaries is also very, very important. A lot of teachers are getting into a lot of problems these days because of boundaries. And, sometimes these teachers, out of love, out of a deep passion, they might just extend themselves so far, and it creates a problem. A lot of schools don't want you to even hug a child. You can't even touch a child these days. But the little ones in the primary school, they just want to see you appear. Sir, and they give you a hug. And sir, you send the wrong message by pushing off the child. You send the wrong message by, So you have to know how to do it. Some of these kids were never ever told that they're loved. Wow. They were never ever hugged. They were never ever given the impression that I will make it. and it happens within the school, and you can see that this emotional rush when you do something for them. I love to do incentive learning. I'll bring stuff, I'll buy stuff, and
I'm like that too.
I'll just lift them up and just like give them a hand, blah blah, and
yes.
they love that. They really bloom. Chess is introduced into the curriculum in a lot of the schools in Kingston now, and we have just accepted it in Manchester. We had a massive training. The training continues, and I'm seeing where if you focus on things that the boys like, and you also set boundaries within these things that the boys like, it is amazing to see how it is transformed within the classroom, within their discipline, within with how they respect you, and how they carry themselves. And it is unfolding in front of my eyes. We have introduced chess at Ardenne Prep within the last 3 months, 2 to 3 months. And we just started to play, getting out, knowing the boards, knowing the pieces, positioning the pieces and the rules, and, the whole business of where's chess from. And it is transforming these boys. This is amazing. They're not that loud and boisterous, and the fighting and the pushing. It's awesome. So there is so much
that can be done.
And
a lot of what you're saying is innovative, non-traditional. We just need to really think outside of the box.
Way outside of the box.
Yes, way outside of the box. But before we conclude, though, Wayne, is there anything else you'd like to mention before we conclude?
We really encourage them to do their homework. We talk about life in the future. It's not too early at a primary level to start giving them guidelines about careers. We introduce quite a myriad of things. What do you want to be when you grow up? Start to think about it from now. Who are the persons that you emulate? And we use big words with them because we want them to read, we want them to go and research, and so on. And we have so much different systems within the classroom that facilitate learning and really encourage them to read.
Good.
That's one of my big things. Students, read. Read everything. Ask questions, read. So we encourage the parents to facilitate them in conversations. They're not rude. They're just being inquisitive about life, and they want to become. You understand what I mean? They need to become. So the schoolwork is extremely important. Just do my homework. I threaten them. Do my homework, or I will not send you through the door. I'll send you through all the grills and the spaces in the classroom. They laugh, but, it's fun learning. It's all about fun learning. The child needs to, this is where they spend most of their lives.
Yes.
So they need to have fun learning within the classroom.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, I'm just going to pick 3 of the things that really stood out for me. If, as teachers, in trying to foster better relationship, we need to treat the classroom as a family. Yes? Need to ensure that there are clear boundaries.
Definitely.
And one of the things that you mentioned, I really don't want us to just, and it is the note to end on, the fact that we must be mindful of the fact that females and males learn differently, and we need to take that into consideration, even in terms of how we structure our lessons, and even in terms of the different activities that we ask them to do. Any final thoughts before we go?
The girls in my class, they complain, sir, you're leaving us out, sir, you're not talking to me. But what is happening in society now, I'm picking on the boys. All of my questions are usually to the boys. The activities are for the boys. Because when I'm marking, the 90s are the girls, the boys are the 60s, the 40s, and the 50s. So I'm really hammering it into the boys. I give them a lot of responsibility, more work and stuff like that. And I do encourage their parents to, work with them, be there. A parent complained to the principal that she thinks I'm giving them too much heavy stuff, university level work. Because when I give a project, I'm expecting the child to come back at grade 4, 5, and 6, and they present their project.
Nice.
They stand in front of the class, they read, they are quizzed by the rest of the class. I don't agree with that. That doesn't sound good. So they develop this sense of
beautiful
of individuality. they can handle criticism
And I want
stuff
to
like that.
affirm you, because when you do it at that level, by the time they get to the level where I have to interact with them, which is a tertiary level, it will make it so much easier. So yes, continue doing that, Wayne.
If I stay in the classroom much longer, it's a lot of work.
It is,
It
but
is a
it
lot
is.
of work. It's awesome. It's fulfilling.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it
you
is.
know,
It is. As a friend of mine told me when I felt quite disheartened recently, it is life-changing work.
It's life changing. You
Yes.
fall in love with them, they all become yours. You know.
Yes.
So we just need the outside world to know that something great is happening and they need to contribute.
Yes. Thank you so much, Wayne. And I have a feeling you'll be back.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, we spoke about how to improve relationships, and this time was about how teachers can help to foster better relationships with students. This was Making It Last. I'm Noreen Daly, your host. Join me again next time when we look at just trying to improve our society by bettering our relationships. Until next time, bye-bye.
You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever, strengthening the ties that keep us together. Mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends forever, strengthening the ties that keep us together.